92, which brought reprisals. 93. These organized massacres were an attempt by the UN to create a homogeneous Ukrainian state without a Polish minority living within its borders, and to prevent the post-war Polish state from asserting its sovereignty over areas that had been part of pro-war Poland. 94. After the war, the UPA continued to fight the USSR until the 1950s. 95, 96. At the same time, the Ukrainian Liberation Army, another nationalist movement, fought alongside the Nazis. In total, the number of ethnic Ukrainians who fought in the ranks of the Soviet army is estimated from 4.5 million, 89, to 7 million. 97. C. The pro-Soviet partisan guerrilla resistance in Ukraine is estimated at 47,800 from the start of occupation to 500,000 at its peak in 1944, with about 50% being ethnic Ukrainians. 98. Generally, the Ukrainian insurgent army's figures are unreliable, with figures ranging anywhere from 15,000 to as many as Kyiv suffered significant damage during World War II, and was occupied by the Germans from 19 September 1941 until 6 November 1943. 100,000 fighters. 99, 100. Most of the Ukrainian SSR was organized within the Reichskommissariat Ukraine, with the intention of exploiting its resources and eventual German settlement. Some Western Ukrainians, who had only joined the Soviet Union in 1939, hailed the Germans as liberators. Brutal German rule eventually turned their supporters against the Nazi administrators, who made little attempt to exploit dissatisfaction with Stalinist policies. 101. Instead, the Nazis preserved the collective farm system, carried out genocidal policies against Jews, deported millions of people to work in Germany, and began a depopulation program to prepare for German colonization. 101. They blockaded the transport of food on the Kyiv River. 102. The vast majority of the fighting in World War II took place on the Eastern Front. 103. By some estimates, 93% of all German casualties took place there. 104. The total losses inflicted upon the Ukrainian population during the war are estimated at 6,105,106, including an estimated 1.5 million Jews killed by the Einsatzgruppen, 107, sometimes with the help of local collaborators. Of the estimated 8.6 million Soviet troop losses, 108, 109, 110, 1.4 million were ethnic Ukrainians. 108, 110, c. d. Victory Day is celebrated as one of 10 Ukrainian national holidays. 111. The loss of the Ukrainian people in the war amounted to 44% of the total losses of the USSR. 112. Post-World War II. Two future leaders of the Soviet Union, Nikita Khrushchev, left, pre-war PSU chief in Ukraine, and Leonid Brezhnev, an engineer from Kamiansk. The republic was heavily damaged by the war, and it required significant efforts to recover. More than 700 cities and towns and 28,000 villages were destroyed. 113. The situation was worsened by a famine in 1946-1947, which was caused by a drought and wartime destruction of infrastructure. The death toll of this famine varies, with even the lowest estimate in the tens of thousands. 106. In 1945, the Ukrainian SSR became one of the founding members of the United Nations Organization. 114. Part of a special agreement at the Yalta Conference. 115. Post-war ethnic cleansing occurred in the newly expanded Soviet Union. As of the 1st of January 1953, Ukrainians were second only to Russians among adult special deportees, comprising 20% of the total. 116. In addition, over 450,000 ethnic Germans from Ukraine and more than 200,000 Crimean Tatars were victims of forced deportations. 116. Following the death of Stalin in 1953, Nikita Khrushchev became the new leader of the USSR. Having served as first secretary of the Communist Party of Ukrainian SSR in 1938-1949, Khrushchev was intimately familiar with the republic. After taking power Union-wide, he began to emphasize the friendship between the Ukrainian and Russian nations. In 1954, the 300th anniversary of Treaty of Pereyaslav was widely celebrated. Crimea was transferred from the Russian SFSR to the Ukrainian SSR. 117. By 1950, the republic had fully surpassed pre-war levels of industry and production. 118. Soviet Ukraine soon became a European leader in industrial production. 119, and an important center of the Soviet arms industry and high-tech research. Such an important role resulted in a major influence of the local elite. Many members of the Soviet leadership came from Ukraine, most notably Leonid Brezhnev. He later ousted Khrushchev and became the Soviet leader from 1964 to 1982. On the 26th of April, 1986, a reactor in the Chernobyl nuclear power plant exploded, resulting in the Chernobyl disaster, the worst nuclear reactor accident in history. 120. At the time of the accident, 7 million people lived in the contaminated territories, including 2.2 million in Ukraine. 121. After the accident, the new city of Slavutich was built outside the exclusion zone to house and support the employees of the plant, which was decommissioned in 2000. A report prepared by the International Atomic Energy Agency and World Health Organization attributed 56 direct deaths to the accident and estimated that there may have been 4,000 extra cancer deaths. 122. Independence. On the 21st of January, 1990, over 300,000 Ukrainians, 123, organized a human chain for Ukrainian independence between Kyiv and Lviv, in memory of the 1919 unification of the Ukrainian People's Republic and the West Ukrainian National Republic. Citizens came out to the streets and highways, forming live chains by holding hands in support of unity. On the 16th of July, 1990, the new parliament adopted the Declaration of State Sovereignty of Ukraine. 124. This established the principles of the self-determination, democracy, independence, and the priority of Ukrainian law over Soviet law. A month earlier, a similar declaration was adopted by the Parliament of the Russian SFSR. This started a period of confrontation with the Central Soviet authorities. On to the 17th of October, 1990, the revolution on granite took place in Ukraine, the main purpose of the action being to prevent the signing of a new Union Treaty of the USSR. The demands of the students were satisfied by signing a resolution of the Verkhovna Rada, which guaranteed their implementation. 125. In August 1991, a faction among the communist leaders of the Soviet Union attempted a coup to remove Mikhail Gorbachev and to restore the Communist Party's power. After it failed, the Ukrainian parliament adopted the Act of Independence on the 24th of August 1991. 126. Ukrainian President Leonid Kravchuk and President of the Russian Federation Boris Yeltsin signed the Belaveja Accords, dissolving the Soviet Union, on the 8th of December 1991. A referendum and the first presidential elections took place on the 1st of December 1991. More than 92%, 127, of the electorate expressed their support for the Act of Independence, and they elected the chairman of the parliament, Leonid Kravchuk, as first president of Ukraine. At the meeting in Brest, Belarus on the 8th of December, followed by the Alma-Ata meeting on 21 December, the leaders of Belarus, Russia and Ukraine formally dissolved the Soviet Union and formed the Commonwealth of Independent States, CIS. 128. On the 26th of December, 1991, the Council of Republics of the USSR Supreme Council adopted the declaration in regards to creation of the Commonwealth of Independent States, which de jure dissolved the Soviet Union, and the Soviet flag was lowered over the Kremlin. 129. The Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine did not ratify the accession, so Ukraine has never been a member of the CIS. 130. Ukraine was initially viewed as having favorable economic conditions in comparison to the other regions of the Soviet Union. 131. However, the country experienced deeper economic slowdown than some of the other former Soviet republics. During the recession, between 1991 and 1999, Ukraine lost 60% of its GDP, 132, 133, and suffered 5-digit inflation rates. 134. Dissatisfied with the economic conditions, as well as the amounts of crime and corruption in Ukraine, Ukrainians protested and organized strikes. 135. The Ukrainian economy stabilized by the end of the 1990s. A new currency, the hryvnia, was introduced in 1996. After 2000, the country enjoyed steady real economic growth averaging about 7% annually. 136. 137. A new constitution of Ukraine, under the second president Leonid Kuchma in 1996, turned Ukraine into a semi-presidential republic and established a stable political system. Kuchma was, however...
Oh no. My computer have crashed. So I need a new computer. And now it's 11:30, but let's just restart. The computer will reboot, but maybe I should take a small break, start to upload this. But we have more power. Yes, I should maybe take a break, but that's 1 hour 40 minutes. So that's 4-part videos. The video splits every 20 minutes. So I think I like to read about Poland, and I like to read about this Euromaiden in 2013, after the Russians did invade the Crimean islands. Yes, but not really have a good map. This only a map from Europe, the Western Europe. Not really have a map. This map only covered to their Crimean island is down there. That's a tiny part of there. And this is Odessa, this is Moldova. This is Kiev there. Now I like to read about Poland a bit, because Poland have soon take like 3.5 million refugees from Ukraine. So that's like 50,000 people from Ukraine is arriving to the Polish border every day. That's 10 days, just 500,000. So I think the European country that should help Poland with many billions of euros. Let's try to reboot my computer. And I have to find this Ukraine PDF on the Wikipedia. And now I have to read page by page So, but Ukraine have been a part of many states in the Second World War and the Soviet Union. Yes, I have to need 2 minutes, but the video splits in 4 minutes. So, but before I continue my computer, that's because in 80, I think that's day number 82 today, or 83, after Russia have invaded Ukraine. I made a Danish video every evening about this war, and of course I'd like to know more about Ukraine and Poland. I don't know much about Hungary and Slovakia. Let's try to open the Adobe Acrobat Reader again and try to find the PDF. Yes, that's Adobe Acrobat. Sometimes they will, but I just find it down there. But sometimes it's pop up and say my computer did not close the right way. But I can open it myself, but maybe my computer will crash again. No, I don't need to do that, because it already, I can just click there, Ukraine, have it there. Okay, now it says just open the Ukraine there, and we got to like after 1990s, after the Soviets. So I'll just continue there, but we have to read independence. There was independence in the 1990 or 91. I not remember all this numbers, but around 1990. Yes, I need to read about this Euromaidan and this war in Donbass. I think we got to like there. Yes, we have to read from here. We have to read top of this page. Then I will find the Ukraine in my Wikipedia, because I like to download. I don't have the Poland. Oh no! Now my of course my upload this big GTA video is I cancel. Of course, I was upload, did not finish upload. That was 1 hour, and probably it was like 70% finish. No, that was finished like 35%. My GTA video, I have to delete it. And actually be careful when I select something, delete one video, because I got 23,000 videos on my YouTube channel. Yes, I have to delete this GTA 5. Let's open my web browser. So that can take a long time before I will be able to upload this 40 gigabyte. Here we have the Wikipedia. And Ukraine, but now the video splits. And now my keyboard is not working. We don't have time for this, and this keyboard is broken. I have to get Ukraine Ukraine there. Yes, now I got the PDF. I have to download some there, like Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, Romania and Moldova. We have to do this, yes. But we are out of time. I will start to upload this 4 part and charge the camcorder.